So what we're going to do on this one is we're going to use the compound angle formulas, which are trig identities, of which there's hundreds of the things, well, certainly many dozens, to expand this out to find out what theta is. So it's basically rearranging an equation, really. There's going to be, well, I'm going to say there's going to be one answer, but in actual fact, because it's periodically, there'd actually be a lot of answers that suit it. So we're going to do it between, we're going to aim to do it between 0 and 360 degrees. It's in degrees, we've got the degrees symbol. Well, that gives it away, 40 degrees there. Could be in radians, it's in degrees. So it's just a case of expanding it using one of these formulas, rearranging it, and finding out what theta is, what the unknown is. So the first thing to identify is which formula to use. We've got, it's a sine one, so it's going to be one of the top two, and it's got a minus in the middle, so it's going to be the second one down. So that's your first question. Sometimes when these are written, they just have a plus and minus there, and then a plus and minus there, and you've got to try and work out which one to use. But I think it's always better to spread it out.
You chose which one because it was a sine, it had minus?
That's right, it's a sine, so it's going to be one of the top two, and it's got a minus in the middle of the two terms in there.
So you chose that because it was minus 40?
Yeah, and it's got a minus. I've also forgotten to put a number 4 in front of there. Look at my notes. Right, so what I've got to do, so what it's saying is, if I find out what this value is and I put it in there, put the same value in there, I get an identical answer left and right hand side. All it means. And we can use these compound angle formulas to expand on that and work it out. Okay, so let's have a look. So there's no formula got a 4 in front, you'll notice, so I have to take that outside of it, so I'll put that outside in brackets. And then I'm going to expand this term out, so I'm going to expand it in that style. So obviously this is A and this is B in the formula. Could be labelled anyway, X, Y, alpha, beta, whatever.
So which one's A and which one's B?
The first term's A, second one's B.
Oh,
okay. In this layout. Right, so I've got sine A, so it's going to be sine theta times cosine the 40 degrees minus cosine A times sine 40 degrees. Close bracket, and that equals 2 sine theta. Obviously nothing to do on the right hand side, that speaks for itself. So what would you, if I want to start sorting this out, rearranging it, what would you think is the first step I can take? There's 2 steps, there's only 2 things I can do really. What would you think? Any ideas what I might need to do on this? What could I put into my calculator and get a number for?
You'd cos 40.
Yeah, the cos 40, yeah. And the sine 40.
Yeah.
They're the only things that'll give me numbers. I could also multiply out the bracket with the 4 first, and then multiply it into this answer. But I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to multiply out the bracket after that. So if I put these in, I can see some of you reaching for the answers. What have you got for...
just quickly, how do you put your calculator
back to degrees, yeah. Shift setup, and it's number 3.
It won't let me do shift setup.
How did you get to radians?
Oh, I've got it.
Right, good, cool. So you've probably got, for cosine 40, 0.76.
Yeah, I got that.
So 0.766 I've got. What I've done there is I've brought the number to the front because that's the standard layout, standard procedure to put the number to the front of the trigonometry function. And then this one, so same thing, sine 40.
0.64.
Right, yeah, I agree.
642 if you want.
I got 3, is there a lot of decimal other on my notes anyway?
Yeah, 64278, so yeah, 3.
Right, okay, good. And that still equals 2 sine theta. And then the next step is to multiply out my brackets, so multiply the 4 into these two numbers, multiply it out, and then I've got rid of my brackets then. So that would give me, again just a simple calculator function, that will give me 3.064 sine theta minus 2.571 cos theta equals 2 sine theta. Okay? I'm still going uphill in my writing. So I've got that far. What's my next step I can do?
Is that 3.064?
Yes, yeah.
Where's that come from, Kevin?
That's multiplying down the bracket,
Oh,
so
right.
4 times this
Same
value
way.
is giving me that.
Yeah, and the same for the other side.
And the same for that one,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So there's only, this stage there's only one thing I can do that I can see. On the left hand side I've got a sine, on the right hand side I've got a sine. So if I add my like terms together, or subtract them. So the best way of doing it is actually to move this to the left hand side and this to the right hand side, and it keeps everything positive. I mean, it makes no difference in the end, but if I do that I will get, so if I bring this to this side to make it into an add, so plus 2 sine, sorry that'd be minus 1, say. Carry it to the left hand side. This will make this positive though. Equals, so that'll become 2.571 cosine theta. So it's now positive. I've added it to the other side. And that, if I add them together, I'm going to get 1.064 sine theta equals 2.571 cos theta. So at this stage it's probably a good idea to introduce another trig identity, the secret weapon that I didn't mention.
Where did you get your 1 point? Oh,
I've got 3.06 taken 2 away. So I've added the like terms. Right, the secret weapon, and I'll do it in blue. The most common trig identity probably of all of them, possibly, is this one. It's this, you've probably seen this one. Tan theta, or x, or whatever term you want, is equal to what? Anybody remember that one or come across it? Tan theta equal
yeah.
sine theta divided by cos theta. So that means, because of that, if I get me sine over me cos on this from here, I can then change it to a tan theta. Via that I'll be able to find out what the angle is. So if I divide through by cosine to get this cosine over here, that will give me, let's put all the steps in. I'll just put the cosine theta on this side. Obviously it applies to all of it. I could have that divide over all of it, but I'll just define that that is the tan. And that will leave me with 2.571 on the right hand side. So I can now I can shift this to the other side, can't I, by dividing through by that. So I'll have that divided by that, and that'll leave this on its own, which is the same as tan theta. So I can say tan theta for these two equals 2.571 divided by 1.064. All the steps there clear? Now I'm going downhill with my writing. What can you do? You should put lines on boards for me, because I just can't keep a straight line. So what that's saying is this angle, if I knew what this angle was, if I put that into my calculator, it would give me a number, whatever that divided by that. So it would give me the answer. But I don't want that, I want to know what that angle is, because that's the unknown. So what do I do to find the angle?
Shift tan.
Yeah, the inverse of tan is shift tan. So it's going to be, if I do, so it's going to be theta will equal inverse of the right hand side. Like thus. So I've just put that in my calculator, make sure it's in in degrees, not in radians. Anybody done that?
degrees.
Spot on, that's what I got as well. 52 degrees. Okay, so I found the answer, or have I?
Yeah, you did.
What do I do to check that that's, you know what I'm like with my mirrors, what do I do to check that's correct?
Put it into the top.
Put it back into the top, yeah. So if I put that into the top, if you want to do this, if one of you does the left hand side and one does the right hand side, so all you do is substitute 67.52 into there. So minus 40 would be 27.52 times by 4, and 2 times sine 67.52. So someone wants to give me the answers.
Where do you put it in, sorry?
Into where the theta is.
Right.
And I'll write up there in a different colour what answers you get. So if somebody does, who's doing the left hand side?
Yeah. I'll do left, you do right, Nathan.
Right, okay.
No left. Right, 2 degrees.
See if it agrees with what I got. I got a very good answer actually.
Same.
Got to do it quicker because the suspense don't work on a video. We need a drum roll.
3.696.
Okay, that's not what I got.
What do you get?
1.848.
Yeah, I got
So something went wrong there.
Show me what you did.
So you can do the maths there, the 67.52 minus 40, you can do it all in your calculator. Sine function, times it by 4. You can put the 4 out front, in front, and
I
it'll...
got it. Yeah, I got it.
You got the same then?
Yeah.
Bang on, it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Right, brilliant. So they both got the same answer. So that tells me that that angle's got to be 67.52. Quite nice that they're both exactly the same to 3 decimal places. You're not normally that fortunate because you get rounding errors. So you normally get a bit of drift. But that's pretty good, pretty spot on, is that. To 3 decimal places is brilliant.